The eternal positioning is surrendering the knowing of the mind to Baba. Empty of all the ego's knowing, empty of person's pride, and only then the being will experience how Baba is with his vision, keeping the soul out of the web of thoughts in the mind. This voice in the mind is the web. And Baba's vision makes it very clear that this web was simply an illusion. There's no need to entangle with it because it does not have any life. The more you try to entangle and get rid of the illusion, the more you get entangled in it because you're fighting something which is imaginary. So be the subject, the witness, the knower of the voice in the mind. And from stable, most stable, eternally stable seat of Baba's heart, the being can see with Baba as a subject. That the thoughts are constantly changing their colors. In this moment, it could be saying something so convincingly. In the next moment, it could be something else. And the same thing could be negated. It's contradicting itself. How can I, the being, be in that constant ocean of change? The being with Baba can see how it's constantly playing a make-believe game. It asks a question, then it answers that question, keeps playing with itself. And I am the silent witness of it all. And this, again and again, seeing repeatedly, that mind is the object of my witnessing, not a subject that witnesses. Is most transformative. The tendency to suffer the present moment will fall away. Because mind is constantly seeking something to be happy in this moment. Maybe I can do this right now so that my next moment could be happier, better. It's the very tendency of the mind to suffer itself, never happy in the moment, always discontent. And so Baba's company helps the being to see through this illusion and know whatever the experience may be in this moment is exactly what is needed, is exactly how it should be. It's not when there's a positive thought in the mind, that's me, and then there's negative thought in the mind, that's not me. No. They are just experiences which are changing moment by moment. Mind likes to keep the positive person, get rid of the negative person. And the being can observe this entire activity silently. And you may notice that your mind may have drifted once again into some thinking, trying to feed its own illusion. Just gently know that you can witness that drifting away. And in that moment, that you know you're the witness, the subject, mind dissolves. Now you can observe without identification. Silent presence, just interested in Baba, his beautiful truth. And see your own absolute truth in his mirror. See, besides beyond and prior to all this activity happening within you, what is Baba noticing about you? The still you, the silent you. And it's his vision that's like a magnet. Helps you see and know your still truth, absolute truth, beyond all doubts of the mind. In fact, you can even observe those doubts without becoming embodiment of the doubt. And in that, mind keeps losing its, ego mind keeps losing its power.
Om Shanti.
Shanti. We'll go back to our Murli from day before, embodiment of remembrance. But something Baba said today, did it catch your eye? About you, if you don't have power of yoga, then you continue to cry like a little child. You are unable to tolerate the storms of Maya. Unable to tolerate the storms of Maya. It's not like storms of Maya, as we said in meditation. It's constantly brewing, right? There's a constant storm that is brewing, right? But you, the being, has the power to tolerate those storms of Maya. Have you ever noticed you sit silently and what do you notice? You, the being, you sit silently and what do you notice?
Mind start upheaving. It's just like all the old and new accounts is opened in front of you.
Have you ever seen in the street a person walking and talking to himself?
Yes.
Yeah, he's asking a question, then he himself is answering that question.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you call that person?
Mad.
And aren't we all like that? Our minds are not doing the same.
Exactly.
Constantly our minds are doing the same. And can you believe when we, the beings, make the mind the subject of who I am? It's thinking as me and mine and I. it's even more mad. You know? So it's repeatedly come back to being the witness of whatever it's speaking, saying, not saying. It's you will see 1 minute it's saying something so strongly, and the next minute it will negate that same thing. Noticed it? Yeah. And the minute that it was experiencing that, the mind is creating that thought so strongly, that's who I am. It's just feeling like me. Can you imagine if the being of light that I am embodied that thought to be me? Very strongly to be me, because it's speaking so strongly, that voice is me. And then in the next minute, it's like something else. I'm negating it. And now that is me. And then the next minute, I embody another thought, and that is me. And then that is me, and that is me, and that is me. I'm flip-flopping, flip-flopping. So be the subject, not the object. Mind is the object and you are the subject. Repeatedly go back to that. Yeah? And that is why Baba is here. See, he's pulling you, the being, out of that being inside the mind as a thought. He's pulling you out. Literally pulling you out. Where are you? Wake up. This is just within you. It's not you. Wake up. So that's what Baba is saying in this Murli, that by being an embodiment of thought, you think very well, I am this, I am this, I am this. But because of not having that awareness, waste thoughts and ordinary thoughts become mixed in your thinking. In fact, date is 5/12/2017. Yeah, 5/12/2017. So waste thoughts and ordinary thoughts. If you look at it, your eternal form is the form of awareness and power. Your form is not just of thoughts, but it is the embodiment of awareness. In the beginning, too, you receive the reward of having being an embodiment of awareness at this time. The witness. You are that witness that is witnessing all the positive, negative activity of the mind. But you, the being, cannot be touched by any thought, any feeling. That is how Maya proof you are in Baba's vision. Yeah? So Baba is saying, so in all the three aspects of time, at the beginning, eternally, and at the end, you are an embodiment of awareness, Smriti Swarup. You are not embodiment of thoughts, Sankalp Swarup. This is why Bap Dada told you earlier, to child, to be an experienced image at the present time is the elevated stage. You consider yourself to be a soul. You have the godly attainments, but there is a big difference in understanding this and experiencing it. An experienced image can never be deceived by Maya or experience any sorrow, in parentheses, taking no sorrow from the mind. The games of, because Maya is using the mind, the games of Maya that you see every now and again, or the games that you even play yourself, are because of the lack of being an embodiment of experience. And what is that lack of embodiment of experience? What is that experience that is lacking? What is the experience Baba is talking about that is lacking?
Simriti Sarup.
What does that mean in practical terms?
Be introverted. Just like complete silent.
Okay. What else? Separating oneself from Maya mind. Be in truth. Who am I? What else?
Be witness of the Maya mind.
Self-reflection. De Abhiman. Give me a moment. Using Baba's thought. Knowing that I am that one, that is the embodiment of experience, means I am very aware of all the changing experiences within me, but that experiences cannot define me. So I, the being, allow and make possible for all the experiences to happen, to exist, to be experienced. I even embody those experiences for a long time. But now I, the being, know that I am not these experiences. I am the one who allows and makes these experiences happen, their happenings possible. That is the one who is embodiment of experience. Myself, I'm beyond all experiences. So in that sense, experience less. No temporary experience. So experience less of the temporary experiences. Because in that constant experience of the soul, that which is all white, that which is constant, you cannot know it in that sense of experiencing through mind and body. But you can know it with Baba's vision, with the eye of knowledge. You can know it. that you are that constant in which there is a constant change of experiences happening. That is the one that is embodiment of experience. Yeah? So do you know now yourself as that empty container? So now we can't say, our mind cannot say, if I, the being, has this knowing and understanding and experience of the constant state of who I am, now my mind cannot say, or at least it will not be influencing my truth in that sense. It won't influence me. And it cannot say that, oh, I like this experience and I don't like this experience. That kind of language will start to merge. The duality of liking and disliking an experience will start to merge. And you will really enjoy this moment of now. You know, the biggest suffering is? What is the biggest suffering?
My own thought.
My own thought. What else? Likes and dislikes. In this moment, I'm seeking fulfillment of happiness. Now I'm trying to find happiness in this moment. I'm already happy in this moment. I don't need to find it. I don't need to do something to make my next moment better. Do I? There's a very strong tendency of the mind that let me be in this moment to get something out of this moment, to make it better for next moment. Very strong tendency. True?
Pill, painkiller.
Let me just experience some happiness. Maybe I will do this and do that, and I will experience more happiness now. Yeah. Can you notice this tendency? If you can notice it, you will come out of it. If you don't notice it, then it's difficult to come out of it.
Mind always looking for the practical proof. It's just like, yes, his one side is experience, one side we practicing, but if his happiness or some piece is not tasted, so mind is starting, where is the practical proof? Where is the practical? You are keep making effort and thing, but you're not still not experiencing the peace. The mind itself is asking the question and answering the question, but yes, it's still dilemmas and not dilemma, just questioning and answering is there. Yeah, because looking for the practical proof.
Logical, yeah. And happiness is just noticing I'm the witness of even this thought. That is all. In this moment, you're free. You're experiencing and tasting your freedom. So can we call embodiment of experience embodiment of non-experience? Embodiment of non-experience, which is temporary, right? Which is temporary. So I, the being, is that source of all the experiences. You know, there's a source. The sun is the source of light. All the light is emanating from the sun. True? The same way I, the soul, am as the source of all the experiences. I'm at the heart of every experience. Because I am here in this moment, I, the being, am experiencing my truth, but I'm also experiencing certain other experiences of body, mind, and the physical world, constantly changing, coming, going. But I'm still the same. Then another set of experiences are coming, and I am still the same. So I am never changing. Can you just know that?
Yeah, it's clear now, Didi. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm the seed which is making every experience possible. Because I'm there, experiences are possible. But if I am not there, that's not possible because you're always there. Because the being cannot not be there. That's the eternity of the being. That eternal experience of me is constant. It's like the sun. Everything rotates around it. Right? So all the experiences are constantly within me and circling around me. But I am the one, the seed of every experience. More you see it that way, then you can see, oh, like what was just mentioned, the experience of restlessness, of the movement of the mind. Where is the peace? The question comes, where is the peace? I'm not experiencing that peace right now. Where is that peace? Then the next question comes, where is that happiness? When will that be coming? When will I experience that complete happiness that Baba talked about in the blessing today? This is an experience of a thought which is speaking as you, but it's not you. Can you see you that is experiencing that thought? That complete you experiencing the thought that is feeling incomplete? It's just another experience. Let it pass. It's changing. It's okay. That's what Baba's really keeping the soul here in his vision. You are this, you're none of that which is a changeful storm. That is all you have to know. Keep repeatedly coming back to the stillness of you, silence of you with Baba out of the storm of change. Yes, Titi?
Didi, when you are saying that I, the being, is experienceless, that also you told, right? And I am experiencing the truth and seeing all other experiences as an observer. So, in what context you are saying I am experienceless? That I didn't get.
Yeah, very good question. My experience is absolute. Experience of my absoluteness, in which there is no opposite. Right? And when I'm experiencing my absoluteness, in which there is no opposite, only from there I can see all the opposite experiences of negative and positive in a very detached way. But being the subject, the mind being the subject, mind thinking I am going to be the positive one and negative one I want to get rid of. And that one was trying to, that thought cannot try to be absolute. It just cannot be, because it's caught up in being negative and positive. Yeah? That is the one that you are. It's like, you know, it is like this. There is both the sides. You are me, and within you. Wait a minute. Somebody's mic is open. Is that okay if I were to close it? Thank you. It's like there is, on one side, there's negative thoughts pulling. On the other side, there's positive pulling. But I am still. I am silent. I'm not part of the tug of war. I am not the part of tug of war. I'm the observer of tug of war.
But I am the experiencer too. Sister Bhava says in many Murli, the
Mhm.
sorrow, peace, happiness, everything, the soul is the one experiencing.
Yeah, that is what we are saying, no?
But it means is how come I'm experienceless? Yes, I am the one experiencing the both the
The
negative thoughts
absolute,
as well as the positive thoughts.
absolute experience of the soul can accommodate negative and positive experiences, happiness and sorrow experiences. It's like the empty container can have rotten fruits and healthy fruits. So the empty container is experiencing both. The empty container is not the rotten or the fresh fruit, is it? Does that make sense, Sister Rupa?
Yeah.
So that is how I am absolute, and I can see, observe the tug of war of mind and all its thinking. So in that sense, my experience is my of absoluteness. That is being, why we are calling it, maybe that word may confuse you, so you may not want to use experience less, but just use being the experiencer of my absolute state.
Yeah, that makes sense because
Okay.
I experience anything and yet I'm untouched by both experiences, good
No,
or
why
bad.
we are using experienceless? Because there's another fake identity experiencer that is born in the mind.
Mm.
And that one then takes over as a subject. And it calls itself, I'm the experiencer, but it doesn't want the bad experiences and unhappy experiences, it just keeps wanting to get rid of them. And then it calls itself experiencer. Does that make sense? It's like a thinker and an experiencer is born. That is why being that embodiment of experience of your absolute truth. That empty container.
Didi, with that you mean that absolute truth, meaning no labeling of good and bad.
Yeah, beyond that. Absolutely. More I know myself as that, in that alone can the mind dissolve. Otherwise, mind will never dissolve. Mind will keep you in a spin, constant spin. So you're not part of the tug of war of the mind. No. You're the observer of the tug of war of the mind. Bear that in your awareness that you are. Yeah. So that is why Baba is saying that in today's world, the majority of souls have become tired of seeing and hearing and wish to have some attainment through an experience. Very clearly, Baba is saying, only those who are experienced. So today, Baba is saying they are tired of seeing, hearing, and wishing to have experience, but then only those who are experienced can give an experience. So, experience of one's absolute state, then you can see the other soul also beyond their happiness and sorrow story. Right? And it's not like, oh, now what if I have to give them experience? Like, I mean, so many souls came to Brahma Baba when Shiv Baba was using his body, right? So even after getting experiences, they left, right? So that is part of the story. So don't get, your Maya mind will say, oh, but I'm not giving any experience to anybody. Does that mean that I'm not experienced? Maya mind can say that, yeah? Don't go down that path. So Baba is saying, so eternally, an experienced soul will always continue to move forward. They will continue to fly because an experienced soul constantly has zeal and enthusiasm in an emerged form. Yeah, because you're not caught up. You're tolerating. You have the power to endure the battles of Maya. Like today's Murli, referencing to that. You have the power to endure the tug of war of thoughts happening in the mind. You have the power to endure the screaming mind. Or you have the power to endure and discern the silently attacking mind. You have that power to tolerate, to endure. Yeah? So then you can really be in zeal and enthusiasm constantly. Otherwise, how will it be constant? So repeatedly come back to being the subject, observer of the mind's objects. Repeatedly. Yeah? So Baba is saying that, so check, child. Have you become an image of experience of every point? Is the authority of experience visible in your every action? And where does the action start? At the level of Smriti. Action starts at the level of Smriti. In your every word and every thought based on the authority of experience, or child, the soul Baba is talking to, is it simply based on your understanding and you don't experience your absolute truth? Are you experiencing your absolute truth? Your complete truth? As Baba said, nothing more to grow in that? Very beautiful blessing today, huh? Very beautiful, very apt for what Baba is teaching us. Then that one is sada in that sthiti with God. So one is to understand and the other is to experience your absoluteness in brackets. So to speak about the points of knowledge for every subject can also be done by outside speakers who give many speeches. However, to be an embodiment of experience means Smriti Swarup, embodiment of Anubhav, of your absolute truth, of every point means to be an enlightened soul. There are many who have yoga. There are many who sit for yoga. But the experience of yoga means to be an embodiment of power. Samarthi Swarup. पावर है टॉलरेट करने की माया को देखकर, अपने सुख को नहीं दे देते हो आप उसको. You're not giving away your happiness to the mind identification. That's your power. That is, experience of yoga means to be an embodiment of power. And an embodiment of power is recognized by being able to invoke a particular power that is needed at that time and becoming an embodiment that is free from obstacles. So invoke does not mean that I, Rini, is invoking a power. Invoke means the power will move towards me. It will automatically gravitate towards my truth. I don't need to think, oh, I need this power. Because the word invoke, the way we hear it is how? The mind hears it as how? Oh, I need to invoke that power. But when you are embodiment of awareness, automatically that power that you need in that particular moment will automatically come to you. And that is why one of the powers that Baba says is power to withdraw. And in that power, one of these, all these powers that Baba talks about, these 8 powers, they're all geared towards your truth. It's power to tolerate Maya. It's power to pack up Maya. It's power to accommodate all the different experiences within you. It's a power to discern that you are not your experiences. You are your absolute truth within which you're accommodating variety of experiences. Like an ocean accommodates all the rubbish in it.
बाबा इसलिए कहते हैं तूफानों के बीच में बैठकर तूफानों को देखो.
Exactly. So be in the eye of the storm with Baba. Because there's a constant storm in confluence age. You're living in the eye of the storm in confluence age. And that is the swing of God's vision. झूला झूल रहे हैं बाबा की गोद में क्योंकि कांस्टेंट स्टॉर्म चल रहा है. बाकी सब स्टॉर्म का पार्ट हुए पड़े हैं और हम स्टॉर्म के बीच में आंख में कामेस्ट स्पॉट सब दिख रहा है. मेरे अंदर भी है और बाहर भी है ना? So that is the beauty of confluence age. Living in the eye of the storm. And if with that awareness you're living throughout the day, your life is more about spiritual practice than to get this thing done and that thing done, and I have to get this done and I have to get that done. ये भी करना, अभी ये भी करना, ये काम बाकी, वो काम बाकी. Instead of that, life is about spiritual, the spirit moving through the experiences in a day. Means the spirit is not moving, but the spirit is experiencing all the moving experiences through the day. More appropriate. Yeah? So living in the eye of the storm, that is why you cannot be lazy. Mind's laziness cannot touch you. ठीक है, ऑर्डिनरीनेस में चल रहे हैं अभी तो बस ठीक है, हो रहा है, ठीक है, जितना होगा हो जाएगा. No. Attention. Not being alert is a sign of laziness of the mind, no? Before you speak, see what is my sense of identity. Before your mind, you buy into your mind's thinking. See what is my sense of identity that is observing that thinking. And does that really say anything about me? No. I combined with the Father. And the moment you combine with Baba, you see even mind's thinking is an experience. Mind is an experience. Sanskars are an experience within you. It's really just that beautiful stepping back. Just keep realigning with God's vision. Keep realigning with Baba's vision. Living with your thoughts as a thought with your mind, you're lazy. You have embodied laziness. I would say that to be more appropriate. You have embodied laziness. And as we said earlier the other time, that experience of happiness is experience of power. Another thing to add to that is What is a kind of happiness we are used to throughout the day from Copper Age to Iron Age? What is the kind of happiness we are used to?
In material things.
That is very gross, even at the level of mind.
Yeah.
Shanti, momentary happiness.
Momentary happiness.
Didi,
Yeah.
Amrit Vela today Amrit Vela was good.
It's a feeling of happiness of mind and body. Some nice feeling sensations. Some feeling good and feeling that happiness of the body mind, some excitement, something that is experienced through body also. Is that right? And that is a temporary experience. If I'm not feeling, I feel I'm not happy. And it's boring. And actually, happiness is silence of knowing one's absolute truth and being separate from that which is a constantly changing experience. Moment you are experiencing your absolute truth, mind will say, Acha, what next? So what? This is what happiness is. That's
Is
all.
the difference from iron to copper to this? It is because that not remain constant. Comes and goes because mind depend on the something, as just like Baba today says, your yoga with a relationship or yoga with this. So mind depend on those relationship or some other positions or other facilities. So and they getting from the happiness.
But that is very gross, no? Still, where is
The mind dependency is there.
No, but mind's dependency is most on what? Sorry? Could not hear you.
To get something, to attain something from someone.
Addiction to this.
Yes.
This is the seed. Yeah. So it's often always connecting to thoughts and body's experiences, even in Gyan. Very good. Gyan may be, let me get this knowledge point and churn it so that I can feel happy. Yeah? Yeah. Addiction to feelings, addiction to thinking. Let thought make me happy. Me who? Thought itself. This is an addiction that is there. We don't even see it. And if you really are more and more experiencing your absoluteness, you will see that this passing show of happiness and sorrow in your mind, this tug of war of happiness and sorrow in your mind, is literally an illusionary game that you're watching. But you are so beyond it. You will start experiencing a bodiless state because it is these addictions are the costumes that you're wearing. It gives a sense of security, of some existence. I exist when I think. Yeah, churning knowledge is also temporary happiness. Now, it's okay to churn, but first know your absolute truth. Then you can do whatever, however you want to use the mind. But first know who you are. Then you can give your mind some candy here and some candy there. It just likes to have candies. So you can give it some candies. And that's okay. But know that that happiness that is coming from that candy of the mind, that mind is enjoying that lollipop, that is not my truth. That's not my true happiness. It's just mind enjoying a lollipop. Yeah. And I'm observer of that too. So Baba is saying, if even one power is lacking, because soul is embodiment of all powers, if you speak about it but are not an embodiment of it, then too you can be deceived at that time, child. If you need to have the power of tolerance, but you use the power to oppose, you cannot be called yogyukt or an embodiment of experience. Because it's a person using the power and it can never use it correctly. The thought identity using the power, it can never use it correctly. Right? So, what would be the sign of your being an embodiment of awareness and an embodiment of experience in all four subjects? Today, Baba said, no, if you're embodiment of experience in all four subjects, then you are?
Eternally peaceful and happy.
Yeah.
Complete.
Complete. Yeah, that's what Baba said today. Full. Yeah. You feel your fullness always. Mind can feel empty, but you will feel full because you have the power to tolerate Maya. So Baba is saying, what would be the sign of being an embodiment of awareness and embodiment of experience in all four subjects? In your stage, you would have the consciousness of being an instrument. In your attitude, you would always have pure feelings, soul conscious feelings, and altruistic feelings. So, how do you understand that? What if other feelings are also present? Ego cannot observe ego, but egoless one can observe ego. Yeah? Body, mind, person cannot observe the person, but the one who is bodiless can observe the body, mind, person. So the one who is naturally pure, naturally altruistic, in those feelings, who's living in those feelings, will be able to observe impure, unaltruistic feelings also. True? So in the atmosphere and in relationships, yeah, in the atmosphere and in relationships and connections, you would always be humble and your words would be pure and gentle. These specialities would be the natural nature at every moment of one who is an experienced image. Natural nature. At present, some children sometimes say, I don't want to do this, but it is my old nature. Your nature naturally does that work, and you don't even have to think about it. True? We embody old sanskars and then we say, what can I do? It's my nature. It just happens automatically. Is that true? What can I do? I just fall into the trap of just going with the flow of thoughts. That's just my nature. Is that true?
If you can clarify this one always get. So one side we say it's the script of the mind, right? And one side we say we get trapped due to the sanskar of the mind. So how do we identify both? Like, how can I differentiate? Because sometimes it happens, right?
So what do you want to differentiate?
No, we are saying we are not changing our sanskar. We are saying it's my habit, right? And on the other side, we are saying
We
it's
are not saying it's the mind saying it's my habit. The person in the mind saying, the thought in the mind saying, it's my habit. I am the observer of that thought. That is why we are saying mind has become the subject today. Thoughts have become the subject today. Thinking has become the subject today. Whereas I, the being who's thoughtless one, need to rediscover that I am that thoughtless subject, observer of the thinking mind. Does that make sense?
and that part made sense, but still caught up between the script. Like one side we say it's a script, right? Like if something is happening, if the
In the mind, you mean? Something is happening in the mind. Is that what you're saying?
we use this word a lot, right? It's part of the script,
Yeah,
right?
script in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then when mind is doing something, like we are saying, oh, it's my nature and it's the sanskar. We are not leaving the sanskar, but we are still doing the same thing, right?
No, but it's still mind speaking, no? It's still mind speaking. It's my nature, it's my sanskar. It's still just another thought in the mind. When I identify with it, then I speak through my mouth also. This is where we are learning to create a distance between who am I, then the thinking level, and then the speaking and action level. Right? So, right now, because there's a lot of thoughts that are coming in the form of my nature, me, speaking as I, me, mine, I, the being, am creating a distance between my mind and myself. So when my mind speaks, this is my nature, it's my old sanskara, I can see it silently. It's just the mind talk. It's just a voice in the mind. It's not my truth. Now, I'm not saying it, I'm just seeing it with Baba. And then I look at Baba and I know my true sanskars are Baba's sanskars. I don't give them, I don't embody them. When I embody them, that's when I speak with my mouth also, and then bring it into action also. Does that make sense, Sister Priya?
So, sister, we'll take an example, right? Like there is this character who is asked to do a cooking job or something, right? So wherever it's working, people over there saying, oh, you're not at the par of cooking, right? Like you're not cooking well, right? Now this character is feeling low. He's like, I'm doing this, but I'm not at the par, right? So is it the script, that character script, that it's not going to be at the par of cooking, or he can change by being in the right smriti and change his script by, okay, I don't know, I need to learn, I can go back and I can learn. That is what this one is trying to differentiate.
Okay. So, firstly, to know that that character and its feelings are all fictional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no truth in it. So, if there's anything that is taken personally, the soul that is experiencing that character, that thought, character is nothing but just a thought, which is not feeling at par. It's another feeling. Yeah. It's just a feeling that is speaking with the I in front of it. And that feeling is saying, I am not at par. Maybe I need to learn so that I can be at par with everyone. Right?
Hmm.
It is still another feeling. So I, the soul, am still identified with that feeling.
Got it. And is this the right understanding, that character is like,
It's
doesn't
just
matter to me, I'm at the par or not, my reality doesn't change, I am the truth. Now I'm using this body for the
character
thing job
cannot
that I.
speak that way. If it's character speaking, it's still ego. Ego can speak both ways. No, ego can speak knowledge also. Ego.
Yes, but then what's the
So first to know I am that absolute truth. And I'm checking that is this feeling somewhere feeling very personal to me, the being?
Mhm.
And if it's feeling personal, then it will try to become better to make that thought feel better, that character feel better.
Mhm.
Yeah, then it's still trapped. Yeah. But the being that I am, I'm aware that there's a certain action that I, the being, am performing, but action doesn't define my worthiness or what others scripts are speaking through their bodies and their mouth doesn't define my worthiness. My eternal relationship with all the beings and with the Father is eternally peaceful, beautiful, and loveful. That is first my awareness, my smriti. Yeah. And then from that smriti, I will do what needs to be done to make the action whatever it needs to be, which is the demand of the task. Now, it may not be appreciated. It may not be. I'm just beyond all those things. I'm just a pure living light performing an act.
Okay.
Does that make sense? My
Yeah.
sense of worthiness is not coming from that action. That's why I want to learn so that I can feel more worthy.
Other people should appreciate me.
Other
Or she.
people should appreciate. That is
Yeah.
still mind talking. It's a mind talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you, sister.
So that is why Baba is saying that your nature is naturally doing that work. So check yourself. What is my natural nature? If I have even the slightest trace of my old nature, then by it being used again and again, it becomes a firm sanskar. So first understand who you are. In the morning class, we were saying, what is the true nature of the soul in golden age? Whenever Baba talks about golden age, what does he talk about? The nature of the soul there? Anyone?
Atma Abhimani and constantly happy.
Constantly happy, Atma Bhimani. Very Sato Pradhan, yes. There's one very important thing Baba says about a golden aged soul. Two very double ahimsa. Yeah. Supremely non-violent. Ahimsa paramo dharma.
दीदी प्लीज इस टर्म को अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए, डबल अहिंसा.
हाँ जी, बाबा है ना, हमेशा आत्मा को बोलते हैं गोल्डन एज आत्मा मतलब अहिंसा परमो धर्म. सबसे बड़ा धर्म क्या है गोल्डन एज में? अहिंसा परमो धर्म. अहिंसा क्या होती है?
Sister, golden age में अहिंसा कैसे? Their mind is pure. Nobody is fighting. Their mind is not even active. So how come ahimsa?
Mind is active. Mind is
No,
very.
I mean, mind is active, but mind is in the pure form, right? So where is the ahimsa there? That's what this one is trying.
Yeah. So why is it Baba says it ahimsa parmo dharma there?
No, I mean, we say, right, a lion and what you go drink from the same spot.
Yeah.
So that's what this one is trying to understand.
Yeah, because that is the very religion of the soul. Ahimsa, non-violence. If you really know who am I, a soul that is absolutely non-violent. Complete allowance, complete acceptance of all the dichotomy in my mind, all the duality in my mind. I am the absolute being that is in complete acceptance. I never struggle or fight or argue or shun or anything about the nature in my mind. Yeah, that is my religion, which I'm living at this time in confluence age. At this time in confluence age. This is where I'm deciding my destiny in the drama, whether it will be golden aged destiny or silver aged destiny. Depending on, am I living in full acceptance of my script as it is in my mind, or I'm somewhere in discontentment with whatever my script and my thoughts and feelings are saying. There's some sense of discontentment in the moment of now, not later and 2 years later and 10 years later. in this moment now, am I feeling discontent? Am I feeling means, am I identified with the feeling of discontentment in my mind? Or am I 100% feeling my completion because I know that I can experience both these discontentment and contentment of the mind, but I am out of it. I'm not that play of the mind of contentment, sometimes discontent, sometimes content.
Baba
No.
has made
Sorry?
what is Baba had made it very simple that, this is just a thought. This is a passing storm, what you call it, right? Like happiness or sorrow, whatever it is. But I don't know why we get sucked into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that,
And that is just out of habit of the mind. And soul is still identified with being the part of the mind. Mind is still the subject very much today. And
That is
where,
why the number wise was created.
uh-huh,
Based on this one, Baba says in Murli, when
yeah,
teaching is the same, teacher is the same, destination is the same, knowledge is the same, then why is the number wise?
exactly. It is
So
because,
number wise based on the how you see your mind and detach your mind.
actually, yeah, who am I that is observing the mind? Yeah.
Mind, yes.
Am I the subject who's witnessing the mind as an object, or am I seeing my mind as my subject and I'm kind of an object in the mind?
Yeah, in Baba One Murli, Baba give the two paradoxes. See the mind as a weight or waste. So see the how much waste of giving the weight to the mind.
Yeah, yeah.
so one more thing that to limit of more clarification that you always say, soul
Your
cannot.
voice became muffled suddenly.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
So we always say, right, in the class that soul cannot be known through the mind, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
but without mind, right, like how will soul experience? This is what we always say, right? Soul, observer, experiencer. And then on the other side, we always say, right, soul is the one who, uh, experiences that pain. So without a tool, right, soul has a mind, right? That is a tool.
Mm-hmm.
But how can we not, like, we have to use a tool, right, to know something.
Mm-hmm.
So get caught up in that conversation is like, yes, understanding is there with Baba's knowledge. Understanding is there that, okay, this is a soul and soul has mind, intellect, and sanskar.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something that needs to be, that soul will use as a tool to know, right? But
Absolutely.
we beyond that, which is where this one gets sometimes lost.
It is because I'm still trying to understand myself through the mind first. First, know that you are the one that is the one without which you're prior to the mind. If you exist, then the mind can exist. Otherwise, it cannot exist. Thinking cannot happen without you. This is where Baba said, no, in this Murli, I don't know if you read it, you were there yesterday or day before, actually, where Baba said that you ask yourself, you have not become an embodiment of remembrance. You think that you are a soul, but you become an embodiment of the thought. You don't become an embodiment of the awareness so much. Yeah. What does that mean? Baba is saying you're trying to think yourself to be a soul. You can't think yourself to be who you are. It is as the mind is telling you, I am the master, and I tell you, you are the master or not the master. That is not possible, right? It is like
Where the
like without the parent, children cannot come.
so it's Baba. Basically, Baba is that the true statement or true understanding? Baba is regulating the soul because there is somebody who is regulating the soul, right? Somebody who is
Nobody regulating anything. Soul is an individual entity in its own right. Yeah. Soul is an individual being, which Baba says 24 karat gold. That is who I am.
who is driving the
I'm the being. I'm the driver.
or
So, Baba is saying, you are the soul. 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 You I, the being, am the driver of mind, intellect, and sanskars. Now I can use my mind to create certain thoughts taken from Baba and put them into action. That's a different thing. I, the being, can use my intellect to discern and decide. I use that too because I'm living in this physical world. I need these tools. I need the physical body. But to know that I can exist without them being active, that is very important.
Mm.
Yeah?
You are a full moon,
Yeah.
not Omavas.
Yeah. So just know that you are always there and you are forever existing. And then, yes, as long as I'm using this body and in this physical world, I will need mind, intellect, and sanskars to think, to come into action, to do everything. But first, know that my existence is not dependent on it. I am originally thoughtless, originally changeless, originally I have no story as a being of light. But the moment I inhabit a body, I use a body, the moment I come to this physical world, mind gets activated.
I mean, in a Lokik world, right? Like some people, they call it like some psychological issues or whatever. Their mind probably, we say, not working, or they identified whatever, but they still exist, right, as a living being.
Yeah, they exist. The living being is still the same godlike being, even if their mind is dysfunctional. The truth of the being has not changed. It could be schizophrenic, but the being is still the same. The experience maybe of being a schizophrenic mind. But the being has not changed. The body may be disabled, ridden with cancer and whatnot diseases. Being is still diseaseless. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is exactly the same with the soul. Yeah? So we finish this passage and then we finish the class for today. So Baba,
Sisters, ask the question, so is being detached from the duality and knowing it exists double ahimsic?
okay, yes, thank you, Sister Rupa. Yeah, so being detached from the duality and knowing it exists is double ahimsa, absolutely. It's never, the soul never has any agenda of changing anything about any thought, any mind, nothing, no agenda.
Thank you, Di.
Yeah.
Got it.
In your witnessing, the whole dysfunction of the mind will dissolve. You will see more and more, be the witness, and dysfunction will dissolve on its own. So Baba is saying there's little transformation. In the majority, it is visible that the power of transformation is lacking. You understand it, you speak about it. And if you were all asked to write or give a lecture on the topic of the power of transformation, then Babdada feels that all of you are very clever and you could even give very good lectures and write very well about it too. And if others come, you could also explain to them very well. Don't worry, just transform it. However, you yourself lack the power of transformation and knowing the importance of the present time. You should not take time to bring about transformation. It is, please underline this, it is the power of transformation in 1 second. Now, in this moment of now, you can experience your complete freedom now. Mind will say, but I'm not feeling it still. There's still something lacking. Something is still lacking. Yeah? Is mind saying that? That itself, believing in that, yeah. So believing in that thought itself is the biggest obstacle, which is preventing you from experiencing your truth. Exactly. It says so many things. It has a whole commentary ready for you. The moment you sit silent, it will become even more loud. That's okay. Know that you're not that object. You are the subject and witnessing that activity and the dysfunction of the mind. You're not that. Please know that. Be that silent witness. In that silence, the whole storm will become a storm in a teacup. The whole storm will dissolve. In your stillness and silence, the mind merges back into its source. Yeah? So that's why Baba is saying that understand that something should, power of transformation is second, because since you understand that something should not happen, and though you understand, if you're unable to transform yourself, the reason for that is that you think about it. Do you see what Baba is saying? Thinking ki aadat padi hui, you think about transformation, that's the problem. But you don't become an embodiment of it. Today, Baba is against thinking in this Murli.
Yeah, here is completely is a
Want it-
flip-flop.
Sorry?
Just like when the here is completely ulat pulat, because when there is no thought, it's feeling like it is a very boring, dull. It's just like mind is completely deactivated.
Ah, uh-huh.
There is a no action. Even just like is an example in if you have less work at
We are
your
not
work.
working on being thoughtless, of the mind. We are not working on making mind thoughtless.
Yes, no, that's what I'm saying. If your work is a less, means your brain, your mind is now less work, less thought, less everything. And automatic, the same moment you experience feeling now I'm sleepy, just mood is upset, and now it's not very feeling good. And the same time is you getting so much work, and automatically you complete alert, active, just like is you got the
Addiction to
epinephrine, your mind is very active.
Yeah. See, there's a very big paradox here. Beautiful example. One is lazy mind loves the body to be active. Yeah, because it somehow finds a way to run away from the silence. Yeah. And another way, the being that is really silent can be very active with the body and experience its silence. Body may be active, may not be active, but I am always silent being. I don't need the action of the body to feel useful or worthy, or I exist. Do you see the paradox? And because I am coming from that source of energy, the source of power that I am, my body has even more power and energy also.
Yeah, this one is always experience opposite. When
Yeah.
there is a less work, I complete like a sleepy, just like yawning all the time and sleeping.
That
And
is
it's like his
addiction to
mind complete deactivated, even not working, even some little get work. It's just like mind complete down, shut down.
that is addiction to work for sense of
Exactly.
existence. Yeah. Good noticing, huh?
Yeah, today was just like today was after long time very slow, didn't had much work. So was think is but it's better than the before, much better than before. No yawning, nothing. But just like keep saying, just like looking for have some challenging work, have some challenging work. This work is boring, not keeping active the mind.
Huh? Uh-huh. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, this is all laziness. Laziness of mind. Wants to be hyperactive, action oriented.
Mhm.
But at the same time, one who's truly spiritually awakened can chop the whole jungle without even knowing it's done anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So it works both ways. So you will
that's
have.
true. For example, if we are in the center and there's so much work, even since morning early 5 a.m. to midday, never had any kind of the feeling we done so much work.
Yeah.
No feelings there, even thought there what we have done.
Mm-hmm. This
It's
is
just
like,
like feeling so good, and because of cooperation, vibration,
but that's
even
again
own
still, somehow, somewhere
enthusiasm.
still Maya is active there also within me.
Yes.
Because there's a sense of center and there's sense of home and sense of this. This is all person identity,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, it doesn't matter whether it's whatever the part in the drama may be, wherever. Who I am is never changing, right?
That's true. Yes.
So the last line is very beautiful and we finish it all. You become an embodiment of those thoughts for a longer period throughout the day. The majority of you lack being an embodiment of awareness, Smriti Swarup, and so Samarthi Swarup, an embodiment of power. So you lack because you lack being Smriti Swarup, so you lack being embodiment of power. Okay. Shanti. Anybody wants to say anything at this point? So sometimes some souls have asked, but Baba sometimes says, get rid of negative, get rid of waste. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Observe with your own awareness.
Yeah. The way to really merge the mind is just to be the observer and the witness. Absolute observer and absolute witness. That's what Baba is meaning. And then automatically, negative and waste can't pull you. Today, you're embodiment of negative and waste. So then Baba is saying, no, know your truth, be that embodiment of awareness, and negative and waste, whatever negative, positive, whatever that language mind uses, but it will all merge on its own. So by being Smriti Swarup, by being who you are, that changeless one. By not doing anything, you do a lot. Do you know that? By being in inaction, action actually happens. The real action automatically takes place. Okay? Don't worry about the body. It will move the way it needs to move according to the action that needs to be performed. Just be attentive to who am I with the Father. And remember, you, the being, is at the heart of every experience. Experiences are constantly changing, but you remain changelessly as that seed and allowing that expression of whatever experience needs to take place in this moment without any resistance, without any clinging. Allow that to take place, but know you are that seed. And an authentic, genuine expression will take place from you, the being, from your purest feelings. You will see the expression will take place. Whatever it may be, you will be non-judgmental about it. Completely non-judgmental about it. Because that's who you are. That is your natural nature. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
दीदी एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था
हाँ जी, पूछे।
दीदी जो नए लोगों को कोर्स कराया था ना, सबने जो कोर्स किया था 7 डे, उनको एक मेरी फ्रेंड मैंने लिखा भी था, उसको अभी तक लिंक नहीं मिल रहा।
Okay.